Hey, it's Keeley, aka Dresage, and I just released a new song called Who I Am. It's fully self-produced, and I wanted to show you a bit of my process and sort of under the hood of everything I did, because I toiled over it for a very long time, so I hope you enjoy.
I've been sitting still while the dream is dead.
Big thing about my music is the vocal production and vocal arrangement. Obviously, I'm a singer and a songwriter, so as a producer, that's where my ear goes immediately. Whether it's in the writing process or in the producing process, I'm very passionate about storytelling through vocals and vocal production.
Do you feel uninvited?
And you can see I have all the plugins ever. So what I've done is grouped these two into a little group here, and I'm processing these. So let's just check out what I have. So this is a pretty typical EQ curve for me, cutting down some lows, and then I'm making it a little more like indie, less shiny pop sounding by rolling off some highs.
Do you feel uninvited?
I've got a de-esser
to your own fucking party.
I love this flanger doubler from MXR. It's a UA plugin.
I'm a mess, but I'm trying to beat the tricks, politics in my mind.
You can see that I'm using different effects to highlight lyrics, right? So in the verse, I have this kind of short slap back.
Do you feel uninvited?
Then we have a compressor.
To your own
we have a pull tech.
Fucking party.
This is a decapitator on this. I'm just adding some sort of darker toned overdrive and saturation.
Do you feel uninvited?
And because it's after the delay again, it's distorting that.
To your own.
I believe that I am kicking this RC20 on with the wiggle.
I'm a mess, but I'm trying.
And off
to
again.
Beat.
But I'm trying. I used that to sort of highlight that vulnerable lyric of I'm a mess, but I'm trying.
Politics in my mind.
Oh yeah. Basically what I've done is I have this dry chain, which is just everything that's gone up until this point. It's splitting the signal in two essentially. So I'm going, okay, continue on. Here's the dry, here's as it is. And then I'm creating a fully wet effects rack, a reverb, a chorus, a pan man, and a compressor. And that's all just turning on for in my mind. So it's 100% wet, which means that it's not duplicating any of the dry signal. If it were, you'd hear phasing. And so what I'm doing now is I'm basically playing with the volume difference between the dry signal, which is normal, and then the wet effect signal.
In my mind.
I'm turning up the volume. And then off. And all of that effects signal is off now, and I just used it for that one little moment.
Are we all simulation, an anxious nation?
So I'm throwing up the Echo Boy mix on these background vocal stacks. Yeah, feedback up, mix up, and then back down. And I'm also doing a filter sweep, so I'm cutting out all the lows as happening. I have a little overlay thing.
Beat the tricks.
And that's being highly filtered.
Beat the tricks.
Sort of like telephone, old microphone sounding, warming up with saturation of that.
Beat the tricks.
Everything gets very dry.
But
any kind of spatial effects are off right now. And then I turn it on with the Echo Boy.
Nothing is lost.
And back off.
Self-control.
Back on.
Breaking down the
so just the delay. It's just a slap back.
Want to live behind.
And then we go into these ad libs.
I just want to feel like I know I can.
So we're back into this vintage verb being on.
How much longer till
playing with the stereo field and panning. Yeah, so I made a chop here.
How much longer till
see, I pitched that down. And this is that MXR thing I was telling you about. It's just on right there.
How much longer till
a little bump to make it a little bright for the chorus, which is different than the verse.
I've been sitting still
heavily compressed. Decapitator, pull tech, another compressor.
How much longer till I know who I
So you can hear there's a quarter note delay happening, a decent amount of feedback and a decent amount of mix. And we also have a vintage verb on.
I just wanna feel like I know I can.
This lead of the chorus is just sort of a little bit crispier, brighter version of the verse. We have this pitch thing. I pitched it down 12 semitones in clips view, and it's dry. This very small hall turns on halfway through that, and it's very driven with Saturn by Fab Filter. Mix is at about 65%. So a lot of times when I want to add weight to a lyric, I'll add a pitched down or pitched up octave to add more weight to what I'm trying to convey with the lyric in this case, or into the transition that I want. There are many ways to make a vocoder. You could use an actual vocoder, or you could use a plugin. I also really like to put, these are 4 layers, and I sang them all, and I really like to put Little Altar Boy on Robot and pick the pitch I want and change the formant between them. And you can kind of create your own vocoder that way by going through each layer and setting each one to be what you want, right? This is 4 semitones. This is where we go into dreamland. So on robot mode with that plugin with Little Altar Boy, it's pedaling one note, right? Here's how it sounds on this layer. And you can hear I have the formant kind of higher. So I'm sort of building my own chord here. So yeah, there's just a lot of wetness happening there, and then I'm side chaining all of it. I'm also filtering it, and I'm also panning everything. So all of that verb and delay that you hear moving around is moving because the pan man is moving it.
I just wanna feel like I know I can.
And you feel that pump of the side chain.
How much longer till I know who I am?
Here's an effect track that I built.
How much longer till I know who I am?
We have RC20 happening, just some distortion and noise.
I just wanna feel like I know I can.
Doing EQ, we're adding some top end to add more like dreamy high-end sheen. I'm making like a really long feedback or decay of my echo, essentially. Basically, this is happening all the time, but I have it quiet so you can't hear it. And now you're hearing the tails. And I'm turning it off. I'm letting it decay naturally. This is a half note decay. And I've filtered out the lows on it. And I'm also adding a chorus plugin, Brigade Chorus, to that reverb, or actually just to the echo. So here's all the vocals for chorus 2.
I just wanna feel like I know I can. How much longer till I know who I am?
In the bridge, I am on these chorus vocal stacked layers. I'm doubling and tripling. Also very dry, filtered. I'm turning on vintage verb for this section here. On both of them. So that's the vocal production. There's a lot in there, and yet it's very, it's not as many tracks as I've done before. And I'll just play the full final chorus, and you can kind of hear how everything is interplaying and working within one space.
I just wanna feel like I know I can. I just wanna feel like I know I can. How much longer till I know who I am? How much longer till I've been sitting still while the dream is dead. How much longer till I know who I am? Who I am? I just wanna feel
So that, my friends, is Who I Am, production, tutorial, deep dive edition. The song is out everywhere. The music video is out everywhere. I'm really proud of this song. I spent a long time producing it and writing it all myself. It's about all of the stages that I've gone through as totally not believing in myself to actually starting to believe in myself and really taking control of my productions and of my destiny as an artist, really. So I hope that you can find some inspiration here, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.